James, welcome to Shamrock Rovers. You've had a short time out of the dugout. What excites you most about the prospect of being at Shamrock Rovers?
Yeah, I've had a year out now. It's been a great year. I think just before me, I stepped away from Peamount. My wife was asking me, would you take time out, like take a break and stuff like that? We could do things together. Now she's asked me, when are you going back to the football? So I think that was the time. The time is right, to get out of the viewing gallery as such and get back on the pitch.
Yeah. Perfect. And you spent a number of years, over a decade at Peamount, becoming the most successful manager in the women's game during your spell there. What part of that experience and culture do you want to bring into the setup here?
Yeah, well, again, I had a great time at Peamount. It was a very successful time, and we had a lot of learning curves as well. But what I was most proud about what we created was the winning culture, and that's something that I really want to instill in Shamrock Rovers. A winning culture which is, shaped by the players' values. Also I'd like to, have a really strong, aggressive, compact team when we're defending, and when we're attacking, to be on the front foot and have a lot of pace in the team.
Perfect. And speaking of those winning teams, you've worked with those title-winning squads and navigated Champions League campaigns as well. How do you see that experience helping this group in terms of standards, preparation and mentality?
Yeah, well, I think as well, with the teams I've worked with in the past, I think what was fundamental was that you had a really good mix of young players and experienced players coming together. I think all the successful teams, they always got that balance right. So it's one of the areas I'm really excited about to come to Shamrock Rovers. I know there's a lot of fabulous young players coming through. We just have to look at the under 17s, under 19s international teams, and they're stacked with international players. So it's really exciting to work with them. And also, it's important that we have senior players, really good senior players in the squad as well, to get that balance right, so that both the young and the old, they can look after each other.
Perfect. And then from the outside looking in, what have you made of the Shamrock Rovers project in the women's game so far, and what convinced you that this was the right next move for you?
Well, again, I've had a year out. I've had a lot of reflecting, and it's a lot of big time out. So I've always been a fan of Shamrock Rovers. As a kid, I used to sell the programs in Glenmalure Park. So when the opportunity came to manage Shamrock Rovers, it's something I'm really excited about and can't wait to get going.
Perfect. And then in the short term, what are the key things you want to implement coming into the pre-season?
Yeah, well, as I said, player recruitment and player retainment is really, really important. There'll be lots of cups of coffee to be had over the next while. Yeah. And then just to start getting to know the players and, start building relationships and start planting the seeds now to create that winning culture.
Perfect. And then I suppose longer term, what are the ambitions here in terms of competing for trophies and developing players? As you said, we have a lot of great young players coming through the academy. Yeah,
well, the thing about young players as well, it's very important that they're ready. Part of my role now will be to make sure that they keep developing, and because it's a big step up when you come to senior football. So it's very important that they're ready when they step in, because if you put them in too early, it can affect their confidence and you can set them back. So I'm really excited about that part of it. I can't wait to get going on that.
Perfect. And one thing I've noticed in the League of Ireland is just how embedded the women's setup is in the local communities. And being a local man yourself, how important do you think it is to see that we get that in Tala with the families coming and stuff?
Yeah, I'm from Tala myself. It would be great to grow the fan base for the women's team here. Obviously, on the men's side, they have a fabulous fan base. It's massive, so it would be great to be able to tap into that more and to grow our own fan base within the community, because it's a massive, massive population in Tala,
And then finally, you've spoken in the past about the value and togetherness with your teams. What kind of identity do you want supporters to see from a James O'Callaghan Shamrock Rovers side?
Well, part of my own value system, like togetherness is massive. So I really want to build a strong togetherness in this team. And as I said, create a winning culture where players, they feel alive when they step onto the pitch. It's really, really important. And I like to pride myself in creating that really strong environment where players are really they're bouncing into training. That's what I'd like to see.
Brilliant. Thanks very much and best of luck.
Thank you.